Thank you for staying with us. 2 Israeli women were wounded in a terror stabbing in the Binyamin region of the West Bank this evening. One is in serious condition while the other was moderately wounded. The 2 assailants were shot dead by local security at the scene. It comes amid news that the Palestinian twin sisters are in Israeli custody and have been charged with plotting terrorist attacks. The Shin Bet named the sisters, aged 18, as Diana and Nadia Huela. They were arrested at the end of December. I'm joined now in studio by our I-24 News defense correspondent, Shai Ben-Ari. Good evening, Shai.
Good evening, Ayman.
Shai, your latest updates on today's terror attack.
Right. The incident in Bet Horon, the settlement of Bet Horon, was a very unusual one and also a quite serious attack. Around 5 o'clock local time, 2 Palestinian youths were able to basically hop the fence of this settlement and proceeded to stab 2 women, one of whom in her 20s was brought to hospital in very serious condition with doctors fighting for her life, another moderately injured around the age of 60. They then attempted to stab other people in a local grocery or shop, also in the community, but were actually chased away by a man with a shopping cart. They were later shot dead, as mentioned earlier, by local security at the scene. What makes this attack really unusual is that during the course of the events, they were actually able to throw 3 pipe bombs in the direction of the shop. Fortunately, these did not explode, and they were dismantled by a bomb squad who arrived.
What do we know about usual security regulations in this area? Is it heightened security?
Certainly heightened security throughout the West Bank around any sort of Israeli Jewish settlement. In this case, you actually had a fence, which is as opposed to the attack about a week ago in Otniel, where there is no fence but a special security arrangement. Here, the Palestinian attackers were able to hop over a fence and still commit attacks inside the settlement itself. We're seeing a sort of pattern emerge here. Not the first case. I believe it's the 3rd attack of this kind, and you could see a sort of a copycat sort of phenomenon here. So.
And Shai, regarding the 2 Palestinian sisters that were arrested,
right.
We know that the arrest took place in late December, and yet we're finding about this now, late January.
Yeah.
Why did the Shin Bet withhold this information?
Right. Well, this would really be standard procedure. In a case like this, the Shin Bet usually wants to get as much evidence together to build a case as properly as possible before going public. But we're talking about case a little bit different from perhaps the regular pattern. We're talking about not minors, barely majors, over 18, but we're talking about 2 young girls, twin sisters, who were basically incited apparently by online material. Diana, one of the sisters, basically learned how to make these bombs using online videos. She acquired the materials on her own. Despite there being some Hamas material found in the house where they live, it appears that this was done by their own initiative, and not necessarily directed by terrorist organizations.
Yes,
so.
Terrorism is changing its nature, and terrorists are getting younger. Shai Ben-Ari, our defense correspondent, thank you very much for being with us tonight.